But I understand, to someone who's never meditated, it can be very tough. Like, it can seem like, what do I do? Do I just lay here? Do I just sit here? What do I think about? Do I count? Do I breathe? How do I breathe? It seems mystical and magical, but it's really not. It's very simple.
Sisters, how y'all feel? Brothers, y'all all right? See how y'all groove to this.
No, I can't wear my glasses. The light. Alright, hey guys, I'm Shakara if you're new here, and this is Zuluisms, the place for entrepreneurs, creators of our soul. The place for entrepreneurs and creators of all sorts to learn to harness their power in their business and spiritual lives. And today, I want to talk to you guys about meditation. Because a lot of people, I don't know why it's such a mystical, like magical, I don't know how to do it type of thing, but meditation really seems to throw people for a loop. So I wanted to discuss some ways that I know of to be able to step into a meditation practice without really seeming like it's changing too much of your day. Now, it is going to change your life, but only for the better. I promise. So I don't really have notes for this, so I'm kind of going off the fly, but I think I'm going to get the meat and potatoes of what you guys need in order to start a practice that's really going to help you in your everyday life. Let's see, meditation. I learned to meditate as like a very small child, probably about 5. So we learned yoga, comedic yoga, we learned meditation, all sorts of things. And so it wasn't really a practice that I stuck with, but it really became beneficial for me in like high school. My dad actually used to like make me meditate on things like different ways, like whenever I was like going through tough times in school and different stuff. It's like, it's second nature to me to like meditate on things and like do different sorts of meditations to get different results for different things. But I understand, to someone who's never meditated, it can be very tough. Like, it can seem like, what do I do? Do I just lay here? Do I just sit here? What do I think about? Do I count? Do I breathe? How do I breathe? Like, it's all sorts of things. It seems mystical and magical, but it's really not. It's very simple. So let's talk about some ways that we can enter into a meditation practice. Like, having a daily practice is very good, but at least a few times a week, I would suggest, if you're going to step into this. Easy ways are some things that you already do already. So taking a shower, that can be a meditation if you want it to be. The thing that's really going to switch it into being a meditative space is your intention. If your intention is to step in and this be a meditative place, that's what it's going to be. You can step in with the intention of using the water to cleanse you, but not just cleanse your body, cleanse your energetic bodies around you, like the bodies that make up your aura. And you can learn more about that elsewhere, or we can talk about it here. Just drop me a line in the comments if you want. Like clearing the gunk, like the energetic gunk that's surrounding you, that's attaching itself to you. And even if you don't want it to be so fa la la, like if you don't know anything about the energy bodies that surround you, cool, just make it a space where you breathe, right? Maybe I should have started with that. So just make it, and it could be anything. I don't just mean to say a shower. I just know that's something we do every day, or brushing your teeth, or walking. Walking can be a meditation. There are things literally that are called walking meditations. There are groups that get together and do walking meditations, and you can focus on your breathing, focus on your pacing, maybe saying one mantra to yourself. It could be like a 2-word mantra or a 1-word mantra, like love, love, love. There's a tea meditation, and like really putting your intention as the hot water's pouring, like pouring loving things into the cup, really intentionally believing that the herbs are going to do wonderful things for your body, being present in like the warmth of it in your mouth, going down your throat, pause into your stomach, like all that stuff. Pause again. But you can research a little bit on your own about how to do that. Just know that things that you do every day can be considered a meditation. Another way, if you're looking to actually do the entire practice of like sitting, stillness, all that sort of thing, one way that doesn't even involve closing your eyes is a practice called Zazen. And it's actually a practice introduced to me by my uncle. If you live in Tallahassee, you might know Dana Zanara, also, of course, affectionately known as Baba Kamal. And it can be a very beneficial practice if you're just trying to ease into like meditation. It's also a practice that a lot of people who've been practicing for years, decades, still do. Zazen, in the way that I've learned it, is a practice where you take, so you would sit ideally in a chair. Your hands are going to either cross like this or they're going to be one on top of each other, and you just want to make sure your thumbs connect, and it's just going to form like a cyclone of energy. That's why you want your thumbs to connect, is because you want the energy in you to continue like rotating and cycling. They can just be like kind of resting on your knees, and you're going to drop your field of vision into about 45 degrees in front of you. Like if your eyes were just kind of to naturally drop down, the first place they would be. It's helpful to either put like a little dot or a piece of paper, a piece of tape, even a candle down at that spot so that you can focus your eyes on that spot. And so all you're going to do is you are going to breathe in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 4. You can start with 4, you can do 10, you can do whatever number you want to, but 4 is an easy number. If you don't have a meditation practice, you will be surprised how much chatter is in your head when you actually start one. 4 is an easy number to begin with because, as I said, if you don't have a meditation practice, chatter can start to go, and you think you're going to count to 10 and you get to 5 and you're like, wait, I'm counting, and you're like, what? So 4 is a good number to begin with. So your hands are in a cyclone like this. They're on your thighs, and you will just breathe in for a count of. Okay, so clearly I haven't done Zazen in a very long time because I was having such a time trying to explain this on camera. Zazen actually should be done all the way into a count of 10, and you count each inhalation and exhalation as a full cycle. So inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale, that's 2, inhale, exhale again, that's 3, and you do that all the way until 10, and then you just count back down. So after you get to 10, you inhale, exhale, and that's 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down to 1, and the process starts again. The entire time, you're just focusing on trying to expand that stillness and focusing on the breath. So that's one practice, and it goes into some other stuff, but that's the basic like entrance into what Zazen is. There are breathing meditations where you literally are just focusing on your breathing. It's astonishing how much you'll get clarity on by just focusing on your breathing. Everything is in the breath. You're always breathing in things. You're always breathing in your emotions deeper. You're always breathing in something that happened to you today deeper if you're not aware of it. Like the breath, everything is in the breath. So a breathing meditation, you can sit or lay down. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open, however you're comfortable. Set a timer for, if you're beginning, I'd say no more than 5 minutes. You'd be surprised how long 5 minutes actually can feel in a meditation. Sometimes 5 minutes feels way short, and sometimes 5 minutes feels way long. If you're starting, I would assume 5 minutes is going to feel crazy of just trying to be in stillness. So you could do the same thing, a count of 4. You can try a count of 10 if you feel ambitious, but a count of 4 is always good. You just would breathe in for 4, and you're just focusing on how it feels for your lungs to expand. That's the only thing you're thinking about. Literally, what does the oxygen feel like passing through your nose, going down your nasal passage, going down the throat, and all of the tubing that it's going through to enter into your lungs, to expand your lungs, and then come back, release itself back out. It's all you're focusing on. Thoughts are going to keep coming. You're not doing it wrong if you're having thoughts, okay? You're not going to stop those thoughts. It's never about stopping the thoughts. It's about not giving them power and putting more energy into the stillness. If you have a thought, cool. Acknowledge that you had that thought, but let it pass you and focus back on your breath. The more you practice that, the better you get at making those spaces where there is stillness and no thought bigger. It's just like anything. It's a muscle. You have to exercise it. The mind is a muscle. Your consciousness is a muscle. Like all those sorts of things, you really want to try to figure out how you can incorporate some sort of meditative stillness practice into your life, because it's really going to help you. That breath is going to be everything. Just trust me. A great entrance, I think, for people into meditation, especially if you are having trouble figuring out like how to stop your thoughts. And like I said, it's not about stopping your thoughts, but getting to that stillness place, or like finding those gaps. If you're finding that difficult, guided meditations are wonderful. And that's really how I started as a kid. That's all I knew younger. That's what I thought meditation was, were guided meditations. Guided meditations are wonderful because there's a myriad of things you can listen to a guided meditation about, like whether it be something specific like healing from a heartbreak, manifesting love, or manifesting a job, just guided meditation for stillness, anxiety, to help you deal with that sort of thing. So guided meditations are wonderful. The thing about guided meditations though is just about sometimes, like, if you don't like the person's voice, if you don't really like, the flow of how they're leading the meditation, because what a guided meditation is a person, you'll hear a person's voice and they're just walking you through different imagery. And it'll be different for everyone. Like, they'll give you a basic framework. Like, they might say something like, imagine you're walking through a forest. Your forest is going to look different from my forest because we're two different people. But we both are in a forest, right? And my forest might have a waterfall. Yours might have a lake. Mine might have white flowers everywhere. Yours might only be in blue. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be different for everybody based on you, your personality, what you're seeing, what you're going through, what your experiences have been, how you view the world. All that sort of thing comes into play. Rambling. So guided meditations will be someone's voice, and they'll just give you a piece of imagery and you'll go through it. And a lot of times there's like space given for you to like go off and do your own thing, or like ask a question to maybe you'll hear an answer in the space. Like, who knows? There's guided meditations for everything. You can find them as short as 2 minutes, as long as 6 hours. Like, they vary. So that's the thing. It's just like music. Sometimes you're gonna like the music, sometimes you're not, and it's hard to sit through a guided meditation when you're not liking it. Excuse me, the bubble in my throat. I think I should drink some wine for that. What was I saying? Guided meditations. Oh, YouTube's a great source for that. Right here on YouTube. Now, of course, you might have to deal with ads sometimes. Sometimes the person's an asshole and they put an ad in the middle of their meditation, but it could be a hit or miss here, but definitely YouTube's a great resource. There's plenty here. In fact, Nirvana listens to guided meditations or some sort of like solfeggio frequency music or something, like every night from YouTube. I personally love Insight Timer. Insight Timer is an app that's free. I think there's a paid version. I don't even have the paid version yet. I just use the free one. You can use it just to time a meditation, and it just has like, you go explore what Insight Timer is. I'm not going to explain it. I'm not being sponsored by them. So that's a good resource for me. And there's plenty. Headspace is another one, and there's a bunch of them. But Insight Timer was the one I liked the most when I was like searching for meditation apps. Let's see. And then there are visualizations, like having your own visualization of a scenario that you want. If you listen to any of my other videos, if you know anything about like truly manifesting, it's really all about the feeling. Calling in the feeling. The feeling is what's going to help you attract other things. So the thing to remember in visualizing though, if you're going to do a meditation where you sit and like visualize a scene that you want to play out at some point in your life, make it very vivid. Use all of your senses. Think about what the scene's going to look like. Details of the scene. Be yourself. Don't be looking at yourself like a movie. Experiencing it in first person. So let's take an actual example. So if you want to be a speaker and you want to speak to people about medicine, or let's not say medicine, holistic medicine, okay? There's a conference that comes up every year and you're like, ooh, someday I'm gonna be in this conference, and you want to do your visualization on that. Like, you really need to think about the entire scene. Like, what do you feel like backstage, or what does the scene smell like? What smells are you smelling? If you hug somebody, what do they smell like? What are you wearing? What does the material feel like? Is it soft? Is it cold in the room? What do your nails look like? What does the podium look like? What color is the wood? Like, all of those things. Like, really put details and sensual in terms of the senses details. Like, download that into your meditation while you're visualizing, and it'll upload something for you. The unseen will begin to become the seen, and it's really going to help you manifest a lot better, because when you're not detailed, you kind of sort of manifest something that kind of sort of looks like what you wanted it to. You want to be detailed. So be detailed and use your senses. Meditation is like putting on an avatar to get to do that. Meditation also just makes you more attractive. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm so pretty, but I mean attractive, like being a person who attracts what they want. Like, you don't ever have to be out here going for something. It's coming to you. You're pulling it to you. You're attracting it, and it's attracting you because you're in line with it. So meditation is a good thing to put you in line. The other one, I think this is the last one I can think of for now, is meditating in nature. Like literally just intentionally sitting, closing your eyes, because you know when you cut off one sense, it heightens the other senses. So that's why closing your eyes happens in a lot of meditations. So closing your eyes and just listening to nature, like whatever's happening in nature. If it's a bird chirping, if it's a frog, if it's just the wind, just the sounds around you. When you tune into the things around you, the things you'll like hear, the answers you might get for different things. Nature is like such a great balancer too. Like you just might leave feeling refreshed by just taking some time to just really sit and breathe and just listen. Like, what is Mother Nature saying? How does the air feel right now? Like, it's crazy. You'll start smelling things you weren't smelling before you like locked in and put your intention on it. You'll hear things you weren't hearing before. Yeah, meditation is just such a beautiful practice like that. But trust me, it's just like any other muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets and the better you get at it. Hopefully this has been helpful. You know where to find me on my Instagram, either at Nirvana Wild, that's my jewelry page, or in my personal page, Zuluisms, where I post more yoga, a little bit about my daughter, I dance, I act a little bit, reflections about life, all that sort of thing. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next, and I'll try to get it done for you very soon, since we're all in quarantine. That was so long-winded. All right.